Good morning, ladies. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are well. We're almost there. It's the start of the week, but it's going to be a good one. Christmas is right around the corner, so hopefully you are ready to go. However, we are hopping on for our daily devotional, Journey to Freedom, Week 6, Day 2 of a Daily Grace Coast study on the life of Moses. And today it asks that we read Numbers chapter 13 through 14. And today's topic of discussion is scouting the land. And the devotion goes like this. In the wilderness of Paran, God tells Moses to choose a leader from each tribe of Israel and have him scout out the land of Canaan. Each man will represent their ancestral clan, as if the whole nation of Israel itself is getting a glimpse of the long-awaited promised land. The men are to gather details and give an objective report on the demographics and geography. They are also to bring some fruit back from the land to prove its agricultural condition. God does not send leaders on his task to learn about the land for himself. All-knowing, God could have easily relayed information about Canaan to Moses and the Israelites. However, through this mission, God invites the people to get a taste of the bounteous land he promised them. God graciously allows the Israelites to renew their hope. Scouting the land assures them that the rest is soon to come. The men are unaware and fearful of what they will discover in Canaan. Moses calls them to be courageous, referenced in Numbers chapter 13, verse 20. They must scout out the land with faith and trust in God. The men survey the whole area of Canaan. They make their way into Hebron, a city in the region where the Anakim are living. Anakim people are giants and strong warriors. The men then move ahead to the valley of Eshcol. The men see clusters of large grapes hanging off branches. They cut down a single cluster that is so huge that it needs to be carried on a pole by 2 men. They also take some pomegranates and figs. Canaan is truly a land flowing with milk and honey, referenced in Numbers chapter 13, verse 27. And this phrase refers to the land's fertility, richness, and desirability. The men see that the Lord's word is true. When they return to the wilderness of Paran, the scouts report what they saw, and they deliver the fruit to Moses and the community. After relaying the information, Caleb and Joshua, 2 of the scouts, are ready to claim the land, as they are sure the Lord will help them obtain it. But the other men are too fearful of the Anakim. They believe the Israelites are at a disadvantage and will be destroyed. These men lack faith in God to fulfill his word in giving them the promised land. The rest of the Israelites also respond in fear to the news. They cry that they would rather die in the wilderness or return to Egypt. The people's weeping escalates to rage as they threaten to stone Moses and Aaron. Amid the intensity, God speaks to Moses. He says, "How long will these people despise me?" Reference in Numbers chapter 13, verses 11. God mourns their unbelief. The Lord tells Moses he will do away with them and create a new nation through Moses. God is long-suffering and just. The Lord does not desire anyone to perish, but he will also punish the wicked and reward the faithful. Fortunately, Moses is not silent at this time. The Lord's threat of judgment rouses Moses to intercede on behalf of the Israelites. Moses intercedes by reminding the Lord of his commitment to his glory. He tells God that his glorious reputation would be tarnished if he does not bring them to the promised land. Based on the Lord's character, Moses asks God to pardon the people's sin. The Lord then grants this request. To preserve his glory, the Lord will not destroy them. He will continue to use rebellious people in his sovereign will until his covenant promises are fulfilled for his name's sake. However, God does not let the guilty go unpunished. He will honor the Israelites' desire to die in the wilderness rather than rest in the promised land. Like in yesterday's passage, their rebellious desire leads to judgment. The generation of people who complained and longed for death rather than life will die in the wilderness. But Caleb, Joshua, and the others who held on to their faith in God will receive the gift of life and rest in God's holy land. In today's passage, we see God's faithful, merciful, and just character as a commitment to his glory. Holding his honor at the utmost reason, God pursued and persevered the Israelites from being consumed by their sin. Through Jesus' meditation, we see God's glory on full display. Jesus' death on the cross shows that God was faithful to his covenant promises in sending his son to establish his people and kingdom. Jesus took our punishment for sin, satisfying divine justice. God extends us mercy as we do not receive the eternal separation from God that we deserve. Jesus accomplished our salvation for God's glory. Through Christ, God made a way for us to come to himself. There in his presence, we experience the grace of the utmost peace and satisfaction, the source of true rest in life, and God's glorious character and his commitment to his own name. Let us point to God's glory by trusting in and living in the saving work of Jesus. 3 questions for today's devotion, ladies. First question is in Numbers chapter 14, verse 39 through 45. When the Israelites attempt to claim the promised land on their own, they are driven back by the Canaanites they had originally feared. What does this event reveal about the placement of their faith? And what is the result of misplaced faith? Second question, when has God allowed you to follow the sinful desires of your heart? What are the consequences? And lastly, read Isaiah chapter 48, verses 9 through 11. How do you respond to God's commitment to his glory and its revelation in Jesus? And that is all for today's devotion, ladies. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to talk about it, please send me a message. Let's get this day going. We can do this. Through all through Christ, it's possible. Sorry, I'm on the struggle list this morning. Say a prayer for your girl. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.